Okay, so yesterday you were supposed to finish up through number 33, grade your own paper if you're not here with us. Number 23 is 0.6, that's 6/10. Number 24 is 0.625, that's 625 thousandths. Number 25 is 0.916 with the bar just over the 6, because that's the only part that repeats. Number 26 is 0.7 repeating. Number 27 terminates, it's 0.85, which is 85 hundredths. Number 28 is 0.629, all repeating, so you need the bar over the whole thing. Number 29 is a terminating decimal. You get 4,375 ten-thousandths. Number 30 is a repeating decimal, 0.16 with just the 6 repeating. Number 31 is terminating, 0.76, that's 76 hundredths. Number 32 is repeating, 0.45 repeating, the bar over the 4 and the 5. Now we get to number 33, and let me show you that one. 8 divided by 13 gives you this, let's see, you can't see it. There we go. Maybe you can see that. Anyway, look at your own calculator, and what you see is we have this decimal number that completely fills up the calculator. Darn. Okay, I'm going to write it down here. We get this decimal number that completely fills up the calculator, but it does not repeat. It's just a string of digits. And these are the ones right here that I copied down from my calculator. It's not terminating and it's not repeating. That's how I know it's irrational. Now your instructions told you to round off to the nearest hundredths place. That 1 right there is in the hundredths place, but you have to look behind it. If the number behind it is small, like 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, you leave this 1 alone. But if the number behind it is 5 or bigger, that means you're going to bump the 1 up to the next number, which is a 2. And that's why my rounded off answer is 0.62, 62 hundredths. So that's what you were supposed to complete yesterday. Now let's keep going. We're going to order this next set of numbers here from least to greatest, from smallest to biggest. When comparing decimals, you want to have the exact same place value, which means you want the same number of digits behind the decimal. You might have to add zeros as space holders to accomplish this. Addie, read those instructions for us again. Yes, please.
Order these numbers from least to greatest. When comparing decimals, you want to have the exact same place value, which means you want the same number of digits behind the decimal. You might have to add zeros as space holders to accomplish this.
All right, so let's practice this first one and see what that means. Davis, would you look at each individual number and tell me how far they go behind the decimal?
Farthest you can get is 3 places.
Okay, all right. This is 1 place. This is 2 places with a repeating number, meaning that goes on forever and ever, right? 2 places, 3 places, 3 places. But I do like the way you describe this because the most spaces that's shown here is 3, right? So what I want to do, excuse me. Hey, guys, shut the door, please. I've got class going on. It's okay. I know this is a high school hallway. It's okay. So, thank you. My goodness, they're excited this morning, aren't they?
I can honestly relate to
that. All right, so I'm going to take all 5 of these numbers and I'm going to write them, but we want 3 places after the decimal for each one of them so we can do a really good comparison. So we can do an accurate comparison. So 7.5 blank blank. I want 3 places after the decimal. 7.25 blank. I want 3 places. 7.05 blank. 7.552. That's already got 3 places. And 7.225, that's got 3 places. So, any questions about what I've done so far? Let's go back here. These 2 blanks. Now, I had to keep the 5 in the tenths place. Can't move it around. It stays in the tenths place. So what do I put in these 2 blanks? Zeros. Now let's look carefully at this next one. 7.25 repeating. I've got a missing number. I've got a blank. What goes into the blank?
0.
No, the 5 is repeating. 5 is repeating. So 5 goes here. Now we've got to do an accurate comparison by having the same number of digits behind the decimal. So now here, 7 point, don't ever shy away from giving answers. Wrong answers can help you learn something even better. I would rather you give me a wrong answer than just not give me any answer at all. I love knowing what's going on in your brains. So the 7.05, I'm rewriting down here. Nothing's repeating. What am I going to put in the blank here? Yes, you put a 0. The reason this one is a 5 is because the 5's repeating. So any blanks you had after that would all be 5s. So now let's compare these 5 numbers. They all start with 7. Okay? All of them start with 7. Now in the tenths place, I've got a 5, a 2, a 0, a 5, and a 2. Can you tell me right now which of these is the very smallest number?
7.5.
The middle one, because it's got a 0 in the tenths place. So this one right here, that's going to be the first number. I'm looking at the tenths place I've got. I'm just going to explain again. There's a 5, a 2, a 0, a 5, and a 2. The smallest number I said was right here, 0. So that one right there, 7.05, that's the smallest number, and that one's been used up. I'm going to put a check mark over it. Do you understand? Any questions about how we figured out that was the smallest? So up here in the blank, 7.05 is the smallest. Remember, when you're writing the numbers in the blank, you go back and use the original numbers. So now let's go back and compare the 4 that are left over. In the tenths place, I've got a 5, a 2, a 5, and a 2. Which of those are smaller?
7.5. First number.
Okay, no, look again. In the tenths place, 5, 2.
The second,
5, 2.
the last.
What's the smallest number I said?
The last.
I didn't even say last. The smallest number I said was 2. Now listen to me, okay? The smallest number I said was 2. How many numbers do we need to compare? How many of these have a 2 in the tenths place?
1.
2 of them do.
2.
Listen to me again as I point to the numbers in the tenths place. Listen to what I'm saying. What is that number? You tell me. What is that number? 5. What is that number?
2.
What is that number?
5.
What is that number? What's the smallest number you just said out loud?
Wow.
2 was the... My question is, what's the smallest number you just said out loud? You were saying numbers when I was pointing to them, right? And the smallest number you said was 2. How many times did you say that?
1.
You said it twice. Both of these numbers right here have a 2 in the tenths place. Don't both of these have a 2 in the tenths place? So we have to scoot down. I'm comparing these. Now I have to scoot down from the tenths place and look at the hundredths place. What number is in the hundredths place here?
5.
5. Thank you, John. What number is in the hundredths place here? 2. Thank you, John, for talking to me. Do you know what we're doing here, honey? Okay. I need you to talk to me so I can hear your answers. It's okay if you tell me a wrong answer. We'll fix it. So when you compare these two, which one is the smallest of these two right here?
It would be the last one.
The last one, 7.225. And I'm going to check that one off. That's the second smallest one there. And then, because I was comparing these two right here, this would be the next one. Now, remember, it's these original numbers that you have to put in order. This is the third one right here. So when you're writing these in the blank, don't put this one. Go back to the original number, 7.25 with a bar over the 5. And I'm going to check that off because I don't want to even look at that one again. We've already done that. Sugar Pie, you are working so hard and not listening to me, and I've seen you erase a lot. This is where we're reviewing, and I'm trying to help you learn tips on how to do it by yourself. Okay? Oh, it has been. Thank you. So I would rather you listen and do it with me this time and then practice some on your own afterwards. Okay?